Assalamualaikum and good morning. Today, we would like to make a forum about the roles of occupational safety and health regulation. I, Imanul irfan, will be the moderators for today's forum. Before we begin, I would like to introduce our today's participant, starting with Mr. Aizuddin.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Thank you, Mr. Imanul, for inviting me.
Waalaikumsalam and you're welcome. Then, our next participant is Mr. Dylan.
Yes, thank you for inviting me. Glad to be here.
You're welcome and glad for you to be here as well. Now, I would like to begin the first topic. That the roles of OSHA are good for business, and why is that? Let's start with Mr. Aizuddin and what is his opinion in this question.
Yes, first of all, we need to know the purpose of OSH in general. The purpose of OSH includes, first one is ensure that all employees and workers are inducted and aware of their health and safety practices. Second one is achieve zero notice of prohibition for OSH issues or matters from DOSH or other relevant authorities. The third one is strive towards zero life loss at workplaces. The fourth one is implement, maintaining, develop, and continue improving the OSH-MS according to OSH-AS 18001-1999 standard. And the last one is give equal priority of both quality assurance and environment protection versus other major business objectives. Therefore, OSH are good for business as well as being a legal and social obligation. Company that appreciate the practices of OSH in their business management, it helps to benefit the workers and prevent from being harmed and or made ill to work, as this prevention is essential part of successful business. So one of the benefits of good OSH includes investor confidence, lower cost of accidents and illness, manage insurance costs, productivity, employee motivation and commitment, corporate social responsibility, winning and retaining business customers, and lastly, brand value and goodwill.
I see, an interesting opinion, but what about you, Mr. Dylan? Do you agree with his opinion?
Yes, I agree with Mr. Aizuddin. This is because OSH can demonstrate that a business is socially responsible. It also protects and enhances brand image and brand value. It also helps to maximize the productivity of workers, enhance employees' commitment to the business, build a more competent and healthier workforce, reduces business costs and disruption. It also enables the enterprise to meet customers' OSH expectations and encourage the workforce to stay longer in active life. This shows that OSH gives significant benefits to the company if the company decides to invest more on OSH. This simple improvement can increase the competitiveness, profitability, and the motivation of the employees. It also prevents workers from accidents or ill during working and increases company's productivity.
I see. So what can get from both of your opinion is that OSH is useful for the business of the company and the safety of the workers. However, how does the principle of good OSH can be beneficial for a big and small organization? Mr. Aizuddin, can you tell us the difference of the important of OSH in large and small organization?
I believe Most of large companies already recognize the importance of OSH and is expected to demonstrate high standards of corporate governance and greater transparency in reporting practices. So the combination of operating in a market-driven company economy alongside a society that is more aware of risks means that many enterprises now realize the significant gain that can be made from integrating OSH performance into their wider business model. So this includes improvement in the image, brand value, and reputation of the enterprise. Second one is delivering on corporate social responsibility commitments. The third one is maintaining and promoting investor confidence. And the fourth one is developing positive stakeholder engagement. So for small organization, most of it also started to recognize the causes of poor OSH and the benefits of good OSH. They are most noticeable in terms of meeting the OSH requirements of business or business clients in order to win and retain contracts, avoiding business disruption and loss of key staff, motivating staff and retaining their commitment, uh, the availability and affordability of insurance. So these new and growing enterprises seeking to achieve sustained business growth and stability are realizing how their OSH performance can contribute. This is more noticeable in terms of satisfying the OSH requirements of clients. The need for corporate businesses to act responsibly also leads to demands being placed on their suppliers. Investing in good OSH standard boosts the competitiveness of the enterprise, and which also increase the potential to retain client and win new business. Thank you.
Alright then, to continue. So, in the terms of productivity and workers, how do you improve the productivity and workers' performance for the small and large companies? Mr. Dylan?
Yes. Um, from what I understand, for large organizations, they can improve their company's productivity and workers' performance by enhancing the levels of motivation, cooperation, and morale in the workforce. It can also produce more productive workers and more efficient working methods, minimizing unplanned costs through effective business continuity planning. Next is by improving the quality of employee recruitment and retention. Next is cutting insurance premiums. And lastly is reducing the potential exposure to criminal or civil litigation. For small organization, on the other hand, poor OSH performance has a dis- disproportionate impact on small enterprises. The human and business costs of a workplace fatality, major fire or high-profile persecution are obvious. Some 60% of companies that are disrupted for longer than 9 days go out of business. But well-performing enterprises can realize productivity benefits such as uh, safer working methods that also allow work to be done quicker and with fewer people. Next is reduce rates of accidents, incidents, and ill health, with examples of sickness absence being half. And lastly is maximizing levels of recruitment, motivation, and retention of skilled staff.
Alright then. Thank you, Mr. Dylan Aizuddin, for your precious opinion. Now then, from the answer that both of you have given, I can conclude that OSH is very important for business as it can increase the productivity, it can provide a healthy workplace, but it can also enhances employees' commitment to their business. Now then, Let's move on to the second question, which is the Occupational Safety and Health Act in Malaysia and its salient features. Mr. Dillon, what do you know about the Occupational Safety and Health Act in Malaysia?
Okay, then. For the OSHA 1994 was made in consideration of the fact that the FMA 1967, which provide control of the factories, and it only covers sectors such as manufacturing, mining, quarrying, and construction. The workers that are covered by the FMA 1967 only consists of 24% of the nation's total manpower, while OSHA 1994 covers 90% of the nation's total manpower.
Continue on. What about you, Mr. Aizuddin? What do you know about the Occupational Safety and Health Act in Malaysia?
What do I know? So OSHA in Malaysia is an act. It provides legislative framework to secure the safety, health, and welfare among all Malaysian workforces. So it to protect others against risks to safety or health in connection with the activities of persons at work.
I see. So, what are the objectives of OSHA 1994, Mr. Aizuddin? Continue on with you.
Uh, if I'm not mistaken, there are three objectives for OSHA 1994. The first one is to secure the safety, health, and welfare of persons at work against risks to safety or health arising out of the activities of persons at work. The second one is to protect persons at a place of work other than persons at work against risks to safety or health arising out of the activities of persons at work. And then the last one is to promote an occupational environment for persons at work which is adapted to their physiological and also psychological needs.
I see. Okay then, a question for Mr. Dillon. I heard that OSHA 1994 does not include industry sectors such as bullshit. Is this true?
Yes, Mr. Imanul, it is quite true actually. OSHA 1994 does not apply to work on any board ships governed by the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952 and the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1960 of Sabah or Sarawak and the Armed Force.
So, what are the industry sectors that include in the OSHA 1994 then, other than the
Uh,
bullshit?
the industry sectors that are included in the OSHA 1994 is manufacturing, mining and quarrying, construction, agriculture, forestry and fishing, utilities, transport, storage and communication, um, wholesale and retail trades, hotels and restaurants, finance, insurance, real estate, and business services. And lastly is public services and statutory authorities.
I see. Alright then. So let's move on to the next question. Mr. Dillon, how many parts of content are there in the OSHA 1994? And please place all of the parts within them.
Gladly, Mr. Imanul. So um, the content that are in the OSHA 1994 are 15 in totals. which includes preliminary appointment of officers, National Council of OSH, general duties of employers and self-employed persons, general duties of designers, manufacturers, and suppliers, uh, general duties of employees, safety and health organization, notification of accidents, dangerous occurrence, occupational poisoning, and occupational disease and inquiry, prohibition against use of plants or substances, strict codes of practice, enforcement of investigation, liability of for offences, sorry, appeals, regulation, and miscellaneous.
Okay then. So, I actually am interested on the part 4 to part 6. When that part states that OSHA provide the general duties for those who create the risk like employer, self-employed person, the designer, manufacturer, supplier, and those who work with the risk, such as the employees. Now then, Mr. Dillon, can you please explain to us what is the employer's responsibility according to the part 6 of the section 15 to 19?
With pleasure, Mr. Imanul. So, the employer's responsibility is to provide a workplace free from recognized hazard and comply with the OSHA standards. Next is to provide training required by OSHA standards, keeping records of injuries and any types of illness, provide medical exam when required by OSHA standards, and provide workers access and to their exposure and medical records. Next is not discriminate against workers who exercise their rights under the Act, Section 11C. And lastly, provide and pay for the PPE of all the workers.
Okay then, thank you, Mr. Dillon. Now then, let's go with the final question. What are the employer's responsibility according to part 6 on the section 24 to 27? Mr. Aizuddin, what is it?
Uh, uh, Sorry, what is the question again?
Let me repeat myself. The question
Okay.
is, what are the employer's responsibilities according to the part 6 of the section 24 to 27 in the OSHA?
Oh, okay. The employees' responsibilities. So the employees' responsibility, they have the right to safe and healthful workplace. They also have the right to know about hazardous chemicals. They have the right to information about injuries and illnesses in your workplace. And then they have the right to complain and request hazard correction from employer. And also they have the right to training.
I see. Alright then. For this topic, based on both of your opinion, I can conclude that OSHA is about the management and the responsibility to ensure the safety and health of the person at work and other people who might be affected by the activities of the such people at the workplace. Thank you all, and this will conclude our forum today. I would like to say my thanks once again. Thanks, Mr. Aizuddin and Mr. Dillon, for participating in this forum. Thank you.